I sent out 32 letters to mayors around the country, and I believe to 7 governors telling them, you better comply or you're next. We're going to work with our other agencies to cut off their federal funding. We are going to send in law enforcement just like we did during the LA riots, just like we're doing here in Washington, D.C. And if they're not going to keep their citizens safe, Donald Trump will keep them safe.
That is Attorney General Pam Bondi. She is doubling down on her warning to sanctuary cities and states. They face a deadline of today to reply to her letter, either confirm that they will cooperate with federal immigration enforcement or they must face consequences. And some are still resisting. Boston is one of them. Just today, this morning, the mayor there holding a news conference to say this.
The U.S. Attorney General asked for a response by today. So here it is. Stop attacking our cities to hide your administration's failures. Unlike the Trump administration, Boston follows the law. That has made us the safest major city in the country.
So this comes despite example after example of Boston releasing accused rapists, gang members, drug dealers, and violent assailants, all in defiance of ICE detainers. CB Cotton is here now with more. Hi, CB.
Hi, Aisha. Yeah, today Boston Mayor Michelle Wu doubled down on her claim that Boston's sanctuary policies make the city safer for all Americans. And she accused the Trump administration of using sanctuary cities as a cover-up for what she said was the Trump administration's missteps.
We are picking up the pieces of your failures to deliver on your promises. Under the Trump administration, groceries are less affordable. Housing is harder to build. Cures for cancer are farther away.
Wu's fiery pushback comes after Attorney General Pam Bondi warned Boston and more than 30 other cities, counties, or states cooperate with federal immigration enforcement or risk losing federal money and possibly lawsuits. They had until today to lay out the steps they'd take to, quote, eliminate laws, policies, and practices that impede federal immigration enforcement. While Mayor Wu continues to call Boston the safest major city in America, ICE officers there have repeatedly said sanctuary policies mean no collaboration with local jurisdictions to make arrests, including these ones. Boston ICE agents say they took this illegal migrant from Turkey into custody after he was charged with rape and indecent assault. They also said they arrested this illegal migrant from the Dominican Republic who was charged with assault to rape, assault, and battery with dangerous weapons. And then there's another case when ICE officers in Boston showed Fox the arrest of a Haitian migrant who they said had 17 criminal convictions.
Trump, you feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
Washington State, Colorado, and Rhode Island have already responded to the DOJ's demand. Washington's governor saying he has no intention of changing the state's sanctuary policy, and Colorado's governor flat out rejecting the label of sanctuary state when asked about Bondi's letter by a local station, I should point out. Aisha, back to you.
Okay, CB Cotton live for us. CB, thank you. Let's bring in Gianno Caldwell, Fox News political analyst. Gianno, I'll just have you respond first to Boston's response. It's clear that they are not going to play ball with ICE.
No, they're not. And it's an entire virtual signal. And I got to tell you, I've been of the opinion for many years that sanctuary city policies are racist. Why? Because a person being in this country illegally or committing additional crimes, if they can avoid prosecution or removal based on their race or their national origin, that, in my opinion, is racist. We have a country that has been in shambles in many cities, places like Chicago, places like Los Angeles, New York City over this migrant issue. And I'm glad to see that we have an administration, President Trump and Pam Bondi, who have guts to take on this major issue. The question is, when it comes to the cutting of funding, that the DOJ is talking about? Are they referring to DOJ grants, which has often been the conversation, or are they talking about overall federal funding? As we know, almost half of U.S. states receive 40% or more of their overall revenue from the federal government. As an example, Illinois received almost $43 billion. So that's an open question I think needs to be answered.
Well, it's always interesting, too, because they're always proven wrong, right? There's always, it's not a problem. It's not a big deal. Nothing to see here. And this is the case that happened in Colorado. We just found out today that there were almost 30 people charged with being leaders of Tren de Aragua, that Venezuelan gang. This is all after Colorado officials were saying nothing to see here, nothing was going on with these apartment complexes when we had video. We had evidence to prove that there was a problem. I mean, this is no, small thing. These charges include firearms trafficking, using guns in drug crimes, illegal possession of firearms. 5 of these defendants also face conspiracy to commit murder for hire. Gianno.
100%. And the problem for many of these particular jurisdictions is they're disenfranchising their very own citizens, the people that are either here, born here, or those who went through the process, waited in line, they paid their money, and they're legal immigrants. Those are real big considerations for folks who came here for the American dream and an opportunity to gain it. They're having to deal with violent criminals that cities are saying, no, you're fine to stay here. That's absolutely wrong. And every American should be applauding the Trump administration on its efforts to change the tide, which has been certainly a deficit for many Americans across the country.
Well, they're going to try to make this a 2026 issue, a 2028 issue, but they're spending a lot of political capital on this. Listen to this. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker could be a 2028 contender for the Democrats. Just signed a law that allows illegal immigrants to receive financial aid. This is what Congresswoman Mary Miller had to say about this. She said, allowing taxpayer-funded financial aid for illegal aliens is a slap in the face to hardworking Illinois families and students. Our state is drowning in debt, yet J.B. Pritzker is determined to drain even more taxpayer dollars to reward illegals. It's absolutely shameful, but this is something that they're going to latch onto all the way to the midterms.
100%. And the Congresswoman is absolutely correct and accurate in her articulation of the facts here. And I got to tell you, Illinois is in a deficit. 2026 is projected to be in a $3.2 billion deficit. By the end of 2025, they would have spent $2.5 million on migrants. So where is the money coming from? In the city of Chicago, they're talking about they need to raise $1 billion to fill the hole. So where does this money come from? And as I mentioned, in 2022, Illinois received billions of dollars, I should say, almost $43 billion from the federal government. So there is a right for the administration to be concerned about these particular policies and Americans across the country, because these are our tax dollars going to fund these things, and it just isn't right.
Yeah, it's interesting to see what will happen, because the administration keeps saying that they will block federal funding, but the courts always get involved and hit back. So we'll be watching what happens next with these sanctuary states and cities. Gianno, thanks for joining us. Always good to see you.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.